Hey guys, what's going on? It's Vic here, back with another Madden 21 video. In today's episode, we're going to be rebuilding the Carolina Panthers, who have a lot of potential, and they also have Teddy Bridgewater, which raises the question, should we keep him or not? He is 27 or 26, I believe, so I do believe we should actually keep him. I don't think he will regress that hard. I believe he could possibly get to an 85 overall, but still, there's a lot of questions to be raised. Christian McCaffrey is an absolute beast. The receiving core is great. I think maybe just the O-line needs some improving, but other than that, guys, let's jump into the team. So here we are with the overlook of the team as we are looking at Teddy Bridgewater here, 79 overall, 27 years old to start at. Probably going to keep him around because this is probably what I would get out off of a rookie QB anyways. And Christian McCaffrey is here, 99 overall, superstar X Factor. Robbie Anderson has actually been playing great with the Panthers, very underrated receiver. We have Curtis Samuel and DJ Moore. We won't have to upgrade anything in this receiving core. Tight end needs help, and O-line needs a little bit of help at the guard position. Defensively, linebacking core isn't great, but D-line is looking amazing with Yatir Gross-Matos and Derek Brown. I don't know why they would pass up on Justin Simmons instead they took Derek Brown. Trey Boston is here. I'll probably trade him. And Jeremy Chin is definitely the defensive rookie of the year. I don't know about you guys, but in my opinion, he 100% is. Some of you guys may be saying Julia Blackman, but in my opinion, it's definitely Jeremy Chin. So other than that, guys, let's get to the trades. So for the first trade, we're trading Kawan Short and Trey Boston, a 6th-round pick for a first this year and a first next year for the Cowboys. The reason why I'm trading them is because they'll just regress and they take up a lot of cap. Next, we're trading away our halfback, left tackle that has way too high of a cap hit for a 76 overall, a 5th-round pick for the #1 pick in the draft. Next, we're trading away a defensive tackle, a right end, another right end for a first and a second from the Tennessee Titans. And next, we're trading away Shaq Thompson. I know you guys may be thinking, why would you trade away Shaq Thompson? He has a high cap room, but we do get David Njoku. So we got David Njoku in a lot, and I know you guys are going to say, like, why did you trade away Shaq Thompson? Again, guys, he has a high cap room, and I would rather have David Njoku here. And I know we need outside linebacker and linebacker in general. And I know trading away Shaq Thompson wasn't the best move, but still, I personally liked that move. And there was a lot of trades, but there was a lot of people that took up a lot of cap. But anyways, guys, here we are at the midseason mark as we are 4-4, so that seems to be working out pretty well. Bottom of the division in a very highly contested division, and we have some players to resign such as Taylor Moton, 84 overall star dev. Definitely want to keep him around, and I will extend it to 5 years, up the salary a little bit, and he stays with the team. Curtis Samuel is here, and I will want to keep him around. This receiving core is going to be great with David Njoku, Curtis Samuel, DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, as Curtis Samuel does resign. Joey Sly is here, and I kind of want to pick him up back in free agency. No, that's actually about as cheap as I would get him in free agency, and you can't teach 99 kick power, boys. 99 kick power, Joey Sly. I'm actually going to re-sign him because this is probably what I would sign him in free agency, so I would definitely keep him around and re-sign him, and he stays with the team. Probably the only kicker that I've actually ever re-signed that wasn't in free agency. So other than that, guys, apart from that, we're looking pretty good. So I'd say it's time to hop into the playoffs. So here we are in the playoffs as we're coming off a win to the Saints as we are 9-7 making the playoffs. Third in the division as 3 teams made the playoffs in our division. Very highly contested. Teddy B had a great season. 4th best offense in the NFL and 23rd best defense. Not surprised with our linebacking core. Teddy B, 4,200 yards, 29 TDs, 5 interceptions. Pretty good year. Christian McCaffrey, 1,400 yards, 17 TDs. Great year for him. Receiving wise, DJ Moore over 1,000 yards and 6 TDs. How many did Christian McCaffrey get? That's kind of realistic, but not as much as I would like it to be. Wish he had like 1,000 receiving yards. Jermaine Carter with 111 tackles, most tackles for a loss, 11 for Yatir Gross-Matos. Most sacks on the team goes to 5.5 for Yatir Gross-Matos, which is a little bit disappointing. Most interceptions on the team is 2 for Jermaine Carter, and safeties on the team is going to be 0, and defensive touchdowns on the team is 0. So other than that, guys, we're going to simulate this wild card round against the 11-5 Dallas Cowboys to see if we can beat them and move on to the divisional round. I would definitely appreciate that. And can we beat the Dallas Cowboys simulation gods? No, we cannot, losing 38-21, which is disappointing. But anyways, guys, other than that, let's get to the offseason. Here we are in the offseason as the Browns beat the Packers in the Super Bowl and looking into the retirements. Where are we again? NFC North, NFC South. Okay, so only a Buccaneers player had retired in the entire division, so that's good for us. And looking into the signings that we have to make, possibly, if anyone has a dev up here. I don't think anyone has a dev up, so I'm not really interested in anyone here. Sorry if I'm yawning a little bit. That's just how it is sometimes. I kind of just woke up. And the team, the overlook of the team is going to be any upgrades, anything like that. DJ Moore, I'm starting over Robbie Anderson now, and everything looks the exact same on the offensive side of the ball. Defensive side of the ball, Derek Brown, his superstar dev. I think he already came with that, so I'm not going to bother with it. Yatir Gross-Matos only has star. Looks like nobody got an upgrade. That's disappointing. Anyways, guys, on that, let's jump into free agency. So this is the team after free agency, as we did pick up a second-string halfback in Kenyon Drake. We got him on a really cheap deal because nobody was touching him in free agency. And defensively, we got Tyus Bowser at an outside linebacker. I know that doesn't replace Shaq Thompson, but I will look to replace it in the draft. And we also got Kyrus Barnes as a depth player and Keanu Neal as a strong safety. So some pretty big upgrades to the defense, I would say. And other than that, guys, we are looking pretty good, and I'm going to heavily rely on this draft. So other than that, let's jump into the draft. Starting off with the banger, we got a free safety that I moved down to defensive back, 78 overall, hidden dev, ranked number 3 in the entire draft. Next, we're picking up an outside linebacker to replace Shaq Thompson. He's a 79 overall. He has star or better dev, and he's just cheaper. He's just so much of better. Next, we're picking up a center who I'm probably going to move to guard, 77 overall, not hidden dev, normal dev only, but he looks pretty good for us. Next, we're picking up another outside linebacker, Avery Little, 70 overall, hidden dev. Definitely like him. And this is what the team looks like after the draft, as I did move that center to right guard. The right side of the O-line is looking pretty good. The left side, not so much. Defensively, the linebacking core is looking a lot better. I moved the free safety to defensive back. And for those of you guys still being mad at me about the Shaq Thompson trade, we got a guy that is just as good as him, and he's a lot cheaper. So here we are at the midseason mark as we are coming off a bye week, as we are here to face the Patriots. Derek Brown apparently has a new superstar ability as well. But other than that, boys, we are 6-1. So for those of you guys questioning what I do, don't question it anymore. We are 6-1. We are doing amazingly. Robbie Anderson is an 88 overall star dev. This is going to be quite a bit of money for him, but he wants the salary to be improved. I'll probably do that. Dante Jackson. Dante. I'm pretty sure it's Dante Jackson, 25 years old, star dev. Definitely want to keep him as he resigns with the team. David Njoku here, 25 years old. Definitely want to keep him on the team as well, as we did trade away Shaq Thompson for him and a few picks as we get David Njoku. And then Matt Paradis is here at 79 overall, star dev. Definitely want to keep him around at the end of the season if he doesn't regress too hard. Sorry if I'm stumbling over my words, but anyways, guys, on that, let's get to the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs, coming off a win to the football team, as we have a first round bye. That is very impressive, actually. And it looks like we went 13-3. Absolutely amazing season for us. Teddy B did great in TDs, not great in passing yards. 7th best offense and the best defense in the NFL. If you're still complaining about that Shaq Thompson trade, don't be. We got a better player. Teddy B did pretty good. Christian McCaffrey was a monster. Why does Kenyon Drake have 11 touchdowns while Christian McCaffrey only has 8? Robbie Anderson did pretty good. Ball distribution was actually very good. And defensively, it looks like Kyrus Barnes with the most tackles on the team. Most tackles for a loss goes to 12 for Brian Burns. Most sacks on the team is probably Brian Burns with 11. And Damian Callaway, the rookie defensive tackle, with 10 sacks as well. That is impressive. And Keanu Neal with 4 interceptions, and safeties on the team is going to be 0, and defensive touchdowns on the team is going to be 0 as well. So other than that, guys, this team looks pretty good. So it's time to get into the divisional round, and here we are at the divisional round. I kind of took a cut there. I wish I just simulated it instead, but either way, here we are on camera in the divisional round against the Seattle Seahawks. And the Seattle Seahawks, can we beat them to move on to the conference championship? Let's see if we can do it. Please, okay, no, we don't. 24-17, a little bit boring to see that, as we did go 13-3 just to lose to the Seahawks, who were a 7th seed, and now they're going to face the Falcons to move on to the Super Bowl. So here we are after the Super Bowl, as it looks like the Seahawks beat the Ravens in the Super Bowl. Very disappointing to see that, considering that the Seahawks were the 7th seed and they managed to get all the way to the Super Bowl and win it. But here we are in the re-signings, as we do plan to re-sign Robbie Anderson. It looks like he regressed 1 overall, but I'm okay with that. I want to keep him around for the entire rebuild as he resigns with the team. Matt Paradis, I don't want to re-sign him for that much money. He is going to regress a little bit, but I'll try to pick him up in free agency or get someone else better in free agency. He's a little bit on the older side, so I don't quite know how I feel about that. But other than that, boys, we're looking into this team, and right now, offensively, it looks like nobody got a dev up, which is a little bit disappointing. And defensively, wow, it looks like our outside linebacker Callaway has superstar dev. Look at that. He's already a lot better than Shaq Thompson. Yes, I'm going to bag on that the entire video because I know so many people were probably screaming at me for that trade. But anyways, guys, other than that, let's get to free agency. Here we are after free agency, and it looks like offensively we didn't really do too much other than get Matt Paradis. And we also got Marquise Pouncey, 83 overall star dev. We only need a left tackle now that is actually good and doesn't take up all of our cap room. We got JJ Watt, and I unrealistically moved him into defensive tackle, so this D-line is absolutely amazing now, even better than it was before. So other than that, guys, it's time to get to the draft. So here we are in the draft as we're picking up a middle linebacker, 76 overall, only normal dev though, which is a little bit disappointing, but hopefully he can start over Kyrus Barnes. Next, we're picking up a defensive back in depth, probably going to be our slot, Darren Peak, 76 overall, only normal dev though. But other than that, guys, after the draft, this is what the team looks like, as apparently the CPU picked up a third string halfback that I do not need, and defensively it's looking all right, I would say. Middle linebacker still needs improving, but other than that, guys, this team looks pretty solid, so it's time to get to the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark as we were coming off a loss to the Saints, but we are 4-3, second in the division behind the 5-2 Saints, and we have players to re-sign such as DJ Moore, which is going to be a big thing. 92 overall, superstar development. Definitely want to keep him around as his contract is going to be expensive, but I would expect that from a 92 overall superstar dev wide receiver as he re-signs with the team. Teddy Bridgewater, I don't know how I feel about him at the same time. I kind of want to, you know what, let's just keep him. Let's keep him for the fun of it, because I think he may be able to get to an 85 overall, and I know a lot of people may want a better quarterback than Teddy Bridgewater, but I think it would be a little bit unrealistic to let him hit free agency after being an 84 overall. So other than that, boys, it's time to get to the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs as we were coming off a loss to the Steelers, as apparently we didn't make the playoffs either, it looks like, as we finished 8-8. And it looks like Teddy Bridgewater 1 yard away from a 4,000 yard season, 18th best offense, 3rd best defense. And looking into it, Teddy Bridgewater almost 4,000 yards, 28 TDs, and 10 interceptions, which is a little bit too much than what I would like. Christian McCaffrey, 11 touchdowns and 1,200 yards. Somehow my second string halfback is getting 10 touchdowns. DJ Moore, 1,000 yards, 7 TDs. Pretty good season for him. And defensively, Kyrus Barnes with 130 tackles. That is quite a bit. Tackles for a loss, 19 for JJ Watt, and sacks on the team, 8.5 for JJ Watt. Interceptions on the team is going to be 3 for Kyrus Barnes, and safeties on the team is going to be 1 for JJ Watt and 1 for Brian Burns. Defensive touchdowns is probably going to be 0, and it is 0. Not surprised by that. But anyways, guys, we did make the playoffs, so we're going to need to hop into our final season. So other than that, guys, it's time to get into the offseason. So we were on the offseason as the Steelers beat the Redskins in the Super Bowl. I'm not calling them the football team. Dumbest name you could possibly give a team. And it looks like Marquise Pouncey did retire, and so did Julio Jones. Both sad days for us because I need to pick up a new left guard and a left tackle in free agency. Greg Little is here. I'm not going to re-sign him. He wants like $10 million a year to be a 76 overall left tackle. No thanks. I'm okay. And everyone else here on the team looks all right, I would say. Actually, our right guard is okay, but somehow our third string halfback has superstar development, which is surprising to me. I don't know how that happened, but I guess it did. Robbie Anderson is probably our second most paid receiver, and he is a third string right now, which is a little bit disappointing. And defensively, we weren't really that great, but looking into it again, Kyrus Barnes did get a dev up, from what I can see, from a normal to star dev, and it looks like Avery Little is a superstar dev now as well, which is interesting. I didn't really see that many great stats for him. So other than that, guys, it's time to get into free agency. So we don't really have that much money in free agency. We have like $3 million to spend, which isn't a lot for any player. So let's just get into the draft. So it's the final season, so we're going all out. Might as well get Lane Johnson for a second and a third and move him to left tackle because he is a right tackle right now. Next, we're trading away a first and a fourth for James Daniels from the Cincinnati... Well, I almost said the Cincinnati Bears. The Chicago Bears. I'm stupid. But anyways, guys, this is what the team looks like after the draft and after the trades. O-line is looking a lot better than it used to, and the team's looking a lot better than it used to. I'm going to start Avery Little, who does have superstar dev now, over Tyus Bowser just because his development is higher. And Tyus Bowser seems to be a second string the entire time he's been on the Panthers. So other than that, guys, I'd say it's time for us to jump into the playoffs. So here we are in the playoffs coming off a bye week, and it looks like we are 6-1. Wow. Top of the division. And also we have players to resign such as Brian Burns, but just like every season in the final season, I'm not going to resign them because there's no point to. We're not playing another season after this. So other than that, guys, I would say that it is time to jump into the playoffs. So here we are in the playoffs as we are coming off a huge win, beating the living crap out of the Rams as we finished 12-4 with a first round bye. Teddy B over 4,000 yards, 38 TDs, second best in the NFL in offense, sixth best in defense. Teddy Bridgewater over 4,000 yards, 38 TDs, 10 interceptions. Christian McCaffrey, 10 touchdowns. Kenyon Drake also has 10 touchdowns, almost 1,400 yards for Christian McCaffrey. Robbie Anderson over 1,000 yards. Pretty good season for him. And Kyrus Barnes with the most tackles on the team once again. Most tackles for a loss goes to 15 for J.J. Watt, not a surprise there. It looks like Brian Burns is probably going to have the most sacks, and he does with 10.5, and so does Callaway with also 10.5 sacks. 3 interceptions for Deontay Jackson. Not a lot of interceptions all around on the team. Safeties on the team is 0, and defensive touchdowns on the team is also 0. So other than that, guys, I would say that it is time to simulate this wild card round. And here we are after the wild card round as we are here to face the 11-5 Atlanta Falcons to see if we can move on to the conference championship. And can we do it? We can, winning 35-25 here to face the 11-5 Green Bay Packers. So I'm actually going to hop into this matchup in the simulation to see if we can beat the Green Bay Packers at their home stadium, I think. So here we are at our home stadium, so I was mistaken, but it is 28-42, and it is in the final seconds. 28-42 is going to be your final score as the Carolina Panthers are moving on to the Super Bowl. So here we are in the Super Bowl here to face the Buffalo Bills, hopefully giving them another Super Bowl loss, because the Buffalo Bills, I believe, lost 4 Super Bowls in a row. I don't know how that works. Teddy B has superstar dev with 88 overall with +3 morale, though. So he finished with superstar dev and 85 overall. So pretty good decision to keep him around. And it looks like defensively we look the same, but Deontay Jackson actually does not look the same. 89 overall, superstar dev. He's had a great career with the Panthers so far. So other than that, guys, I'd say it's time to hop into the Super Bowl matchup against the Buffalo Bills to hand them another loss. So here we are in the Super Bowl against the Buffalo Bills as it is 30-7, now 37-7 as we pound them into the ground. And the Carolina Panthers are going to win the Super Bowl. We are going to have another successful rebuild as the Bills receive their 5th Super Bowl loss because the Bills are just so amazing in simulation and in real life. But your Super Bowl MVP is going to be DJ Moore, 9 receptions, 111 yards, 3 TDs, 12.3 average. Great game for him. I am assuming Teddy B probably had a few interceptions. That's why he didn't get it. But anyways, guys, that is going to do it for this video. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video because I know I did. Very entertaining because we did kind of go back and forth. I would say it wasn't one of my more favorite rebuilds because I was trying to focus on the O-line a lot, and I also didn't really get any CPU generated receivers, but we did keep the receivers and we did keep this somewhat realistic other than trading away Shaq Thompson. Again, he was being paid $10 million a year for being a 79 overall. I'm not going to pay someone that much. Anyways, guys, this was a successful rebuild, but other than that, guys, I'd say I'll see you guys all in the next one.